Hello my lovelies, good morning. This is the 7th of November and this is what the new moon in Scorpio looks like, down here and down. So we got the rookery up on the cliffs there, and they've been flying around and going back, doing a turn and calling. So the rook energy is about magic, messages, information. So something's coming, something's cooking, something's about to arrive. So then as we pan down, you can see there's a little bit of blue in the sky there. And it said if there's enough bit of blue to make a pair of bloomers, you're going to have a nice day. So we've already had heavy winds last night, and they've calmed down a little bit. And it's very cloudy today. Dark over Jim's mums, as some people would say, which is an expression that means where there are dark clouds, wherever Jim's mum might live, it's going to be a bit of a rainy old day. So the boats haven't gone out today because the sea's a little bit too rough. I just love the shape of the clouds and the energies of this new moon, which is in Scorpio. So Scorpio is a water sign, so hence being down by the sea. And it's not rough, a rough sea, but there's a good movement. There's a feeling of energies changing and bringing in something new. So it's not rushing at us. It's coming in at a good pace. And there's a good feeling of relief, or at last, there's something is moving out, is moving out of the way to allow new stuff to come in. And when we can recognise what it is that's moving out, and don't cling to it, because the scorpion has not only a sting in its tail, but it has claws. And it's a bit like a little old crab, Cancer energy. Hang on to things far too long, well past the sell-by date. So this new moon is encouraging us to let go, to step back, to release those things we've been hanging on to so tightly. And for some people that's a bit scary. If you've been hanging on to something for a long time, even from childhood, because it's ingrained in you, it's taught to you, it's learned behaviour, it's old negative programming from your family and your ancestors. The Scorpio energy is guiding to the depths, going right to the bottom, even though there's a lot of murk and mud and detritus. Now's a really good day to say goodbye to a lot of that stuff. Be the observer, not embroil yourself in any old issues on an emotional level. Don't we go to the movies go to the cinema, you're sitting there watching this scene on a 40-foot screen, but it's actually being projected from a little booth way up behind. So you're just observing it, and you can choose how you react to that movie. You can laugh, you can cry, you can be fearful, you can be scared, or you can get up and walk out. But just have a look at some things that deep down you know you should really let go of. And over this coming next 2 weeks, as we move up to the full moon, which will be in Gemini, on the 24th, see how far you've come. Pat yourself on the back. And as she sings in Frozen, let it go, let it go. I love the rhythm of the waves, the sound that they make. So even though it is dark and looks like storms, it's actually very refreshing. Oh, here comes the rain. Hello my lovelies, lovely to be with you again. This is Friday the 9th of November, and I am bringing you some messages from my guides again today, and we have a different one with us, and this is Silver Moon. He's a North American Indian guide, you can see him there. And he came through a good few years ago, and since I've been working with him, I've had quite a few visions of a previous lifetimes actually, in the Americas in various different guises, one of which was as a medicine woman with the Arapaho tribe. So it's not surprising that in this lifetime I've moved into this sort of work with intuitive insights and using healing in many different ways. So what we would like to share with you today is about the huge changes of energies that are around us at present. So we've just in the last couple of days moved out of having the planet Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio, and it has now moved into the sign of Sagittarius for about 13 months. So my guides wanted to just give a little insight into how those energies have shifted and what it is we have been shifting. So they gave me an instance, and it's something that I came across in a book by Dranvilo Melchizedek, which is about the Tree of Life. And in ancient Egyptian times, when there were initiates, people who wished to learn about the mystery schools and the mysteries of life, they would go through years and years and years of training, which included meditation and learning about their bodies and how to use their breath in various different ways, so with breathing exercises. And when they were at quite a high level of initiation, one of the things that they were asked to do was to dive down into some water through a very, very small aperture or hole into a pool of water. Now, this water was about 20 feet deep, and their training had been so strict that they knew that if they dived straight in, they could hit a rock, they could hit some stone that was sticking out that would really be in their way. So once they had dived in, they knew they couldn't come out the same way. They had to find another exit. They could only do this with one breath. Little did they know that in the pool there were crocodiles. So when they dived in with just holding one breath, they would have to swim vertically and then come up the other side of a wall, and there they would spy the crocodiles. So then they would have to swim further to another vertical wall, dive even further down and come up the other side of that wall to the actual exit. But sometimes they came up at the wrong place. There was another part of this initiation in that the crocodiles had already been fed, so their tummies were already full. And apparently none of the initiates were lost to the crocodiles. And if they came up at the wrong place, they would have to go back into training, and then after a certain period they would try it again and again and again. So what they were doing was diving into their fears. Literally, whatever fears they held within their lives, this was about overcoming them and diving deep down into this Scorpio energy. So Scorpio is a water sign, and it is about, through our lifetime or many lifetimes, how we face our fears, how we can dive right down into that darkness, that gloom, that depth of emotion, and whatever those fears are, i.e. the crocodiles, to be able to overcome those with a sense of courage and a knowingness that you can come up at the right point, at the right exit in your life. And the breathing is also very important, in that when we breathe, we don't always use all of our lungs. We might only use a little portion. So your lungs actually start here at the clavicle, and they're like two big sponges, and they go from front to back. So with some of us, we're only breathing up this top section, and then down below that, and your lungs reach right down to the bottom of your ribs. There can be some very stagnant, stale energy sitting there. And so with taking the right breaths in and breathing out all that stale, stagnant energy, you can then feel inspired to do new things. And the word inspiration actually means breathing in, and the word expiration means breathing out. So if you've been holding your breath for a while, so you're anxious or you're worried or you're unsure of what the next step is, then one very good thing would be is to breathe out. Take another very big deep breath in, and for about 5 minutes or so, just do some deep breathing. I would advise that you do it lying down, because if we're not used to taking in more oxygen than we normally do, you can feel a bit dizzy. And when we do breathe in, the majority of the oxygen goes to our brains first, and then the rest can go whizzing around the body through the pulmonary system. So even just doing 5 minutes a day, lying down in a quiet place, you can start to breathe out all of those old negative, discordant, stagnant energies. And as you breathe in, imagine that it is this beautiful golden white light, and it fills you with inspiration and this sense of deep breath, letting it go. I'm glad I let that one go. So the energies around us at present, as I say, is about moving from that scorpionic, deep, dark, heavy death and rebirth, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, who is all about the power of release and surrender. And I'd like to show you a painting that I have done, which is more to do with the Sagittarian energy. So as Jupiter moves into its own sign for the next 13 months, this is fire. Fire, passion, movement, travel, a sense of purpose, letting go of that dark, gloomy stuff. So these are the colours, the energies that I see as Sag, Jupiter. Now you might see within it certain creatures. And they do tend to show up when I put the paint on the page. Once I let it dry, certain faces start to appear or creatures start to appear. So you may see things in here which jump out at you, that are appropriate to your part of the journey, this next part of your journey. For sure, there's a dragon in there, so some of you might spy that. Leave me a comment if you can see anything else. So that's going to be the energies of those working with us today, and the silver moon. And within the painting there's orange, red, yellow, green. So when you look at the chakra system, and chakra is a Sanskrit word which means vortex or wheel, and we have these 7 wheels or areas of energy within our bodies. So the first one is red, and that is to do with our survival, it's to do with money, it's to do with our tribe, our family, etc. And the next one up is orange, and that's to do with the joy of living. So if things have been a little bit less than joyful in your lives, that energy is changing right now. And the next chakra is yellow, so we have it here. And yellow is the sunshine, so the solar plexus, solar meaning sunshine, that part of your self that is about happiness and joy and love and those feelings of exuberance. And then the green is the heart energy. And you see more green in nature than any other colour. So that's about working with the heart, opening up your heart to feeling joyful, to letting go of any joyless memories, sadness, any difficulties that you have around you. Also, we've got a few little cards here that I like to share with you. And the first one is Little Angel card, which is Brotherhood. So you see 4 little angels all waddling along together. This is sisterhood as well, and if you look right in the middle of the word, it does say her, so it includes males and females. So there is this sense of, with Jupiter in its own sign of Saggitarius, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a family, a coming together of like-minded folk. And Jupiter does rule higher education, study, philosophy, looking at life in a slightly different way. So you may feel drawn over these next few months to look into your own self-development, a study of something outside of your normal working life or family life, or something that's going to come along and really grab you. Then a self-mastery card, which is happiness. Yay! So the angels are bringing you this, not only this sense of exuberance through the painting, but also a sense of happiness. So again, letting go of that unhappiness or stuckness of feeling I'm not happy because so-and-so isn't doing such and such for me. And the only way to true happiness is through ourselves. We make ourselves happy, and then happiness exudes from us, and so we draw to us lots of other happy people and happy situations. So this says, happiness. Let me move through life with lightness and beauty. Let me accept compliments and insults with humility and acceptance. And as a master, I will be happy in all that I do. So this is moving through or past the ego, and when we accept ourselves and happiness exuding from ourselves, then no matter what anybody says to you, whether it's a compliment or an insult, it's like water off a duck's back. Think happy thoughts. Happy thoughts make more happy thoughts. And when you are holding that vibration, that energy of happiness, it does exude from you and people pick up on it. So like I've said in previous videos, giving the gift of a smile to somebody else instills happiness. So whether you know the person or not, just a smile will make you feel good too. Then the animal we have for today, apart from the dragon in the painting, is the bat. So bat is all about transformation. And again, very scorpionic. So when you think of the stories of Dracula and vampires and that sort of thing, well, bats aren't really like that, but bat energy is about transforming our lives. So from coming out of that darkness, that sense of, for some of us, for despair, despondency, wondering, will it ever change? Will my life ever change? Will it ever get any better? Will it ever improve in any shape or form? And this is saying yes. So once we face our dark night of the soul or our fears, then we move into a much more joyful existence. Here's a little mini version of the bat. And it says, be flexible, prepare for rebirth. The time is now, the power is you. So transformation, rebirth, new beginnings, letting go, and happy to let go. So sometimes when we hang on to things well past their sell-by date, it can be feel very uncomfortable to let them go and to move into something else, because you don't know what it is, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. But a lot of what these energies around us at the moment are about is trust. Trusting yourself, trusting your higher self, your higher aspect, and trusting the universe to bring to you those things that will enhance your life and the lives of those around you. Now, I've got another little set of cards here, which we haven't used before. And these are well-being cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. So they are Abraham's teachings. And would you believe it? We got happiness. Yay! Being happy again. So I love the way that there's a synchronicity with the way that the cards come out. And beautiful flowers, see there? And they look like poppies, don't they? Which is apt for this time of year. So what it says, the secret of creating anything desired, get happy. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You gotta give all your cares away. Right, it says, as you practice happy thoughts, you practice your connection with source and well-being. From your place of being happy, you have access to all that you desire. So if you're unhappy, stuff can't come to you because you're blocking it. There's this negative vibration that you're sending out there, and all the good stuff doesn't meet with the negative stuff. So as you practice happy thoughts, you practice your connection with source and well-being. From your place of being happy, you have access to all that you desire. So again, that's a sort of combination, that's magenta, that colour. So as we said, the red is about your survival, your tribe, and money and such like. But magenta is a mixture of blue and purple. So that's a much higher resonance, a much higher vibrational energy than feeling gloomy and doomy. And so to finish off with, we've got the Doreen Virtues Archangel cards. And these I love because working with the angels, there's always this sense of upliftment, of tying everything together. So what we've been talking about today. bringing all these things together, taking from it the stuff that feels right. If something in your life doesn't feel right, then it's not right. If it does feel right, then it's definitely right. And the feelings I'm talking about is what you feel in your gut. So your solar plexus, that is your second brain. And you know, when you're excited about something, you get butterflies in your tummy, as they say. Or if you're anxious about something, you get butterflies in your tummy, in the negative. So working with the anticipation energy that something good is in my life. And when we use the attitude of gratitude as well, so rather than the doom and gloomy side as, oh, this always happens in this negative way, they never say the nice things to me. So while you are playing that old record over and over again and telling the same story over and over again, every time you tell that story, you are activating that energy of it. You're activating the vibration of whatever story you are telling, whether it's positive or negative. And if it's a negative story that you are telling, say about an illness or an upset or a relationship gone wrong, every time you repeat, either to yourself or anybody else around you, repeat that story, you hold yourself in that vibration. And it just grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So once you take that CD out of your player and you put in one that is much more positive, even though the stuff hasn't arrived yet, then the law of attraction will bring to you that which you have asked for, that which you have desired. Now, I was taught a really lovely little process when I was studying matrix energetics in Seattle a few years ago, and I'd like to share that with you now, so let's have a go. So whether you're left or right-handed, use your dominant hand, and I'd just like you to imagine that in your hand you have a lovely silver CD. It's empty, nothing on it yet, okay? And we're going to use the letters CIA, not FBI, CIA, okay? So C is create. And so we're going to create something amazing. Now, you might not be sure of exactly what it is you want in your life, but the universe does, your higher self does. So just imagine that this CD is spinning and the universe is downloading into that CD exactly what you need. So all the information, all the ideas, all the thoughts, all the dreams is all being downloaded into that CD. So we've created, okay? So when you feel that that is full, the I is insert. So then you insert the CD anywhere on your body. It could be here, be here, be here. So just imagine now that a little aperture opening and the CD slides in. So that's insert. So we've done C, which is create, I, which is insert. So the A is activate. So just imagine that you have a switch or a button that you can press anywhere on your body. And when you're ready, press it, okay? So the CD is now activated and it starts to spin inside of you. And as it's spinning, it is downloading all of that information, all of those ideas, and it's emanating throughout your whole body. This lovely feeling of, oh, that's exactly what I needed. If you use your left brain to do this and try and figure it out, you'll never figure it out because the left brain is logical. When we use our right brain, that's the intuitive, that's the just allowingness of things. So even though it might sound a bit bonkers, allow it to work within you. You always have a connection with the divine. You always have a cosmic connection. I like to say a CCC, a constant cosmic connection. And so whatever it is that you need in your life, that can be downloaded into you with regard to this little CD. I found it's very, very good for helping kids as well. So if they've got a project on at school, or they have a difficult relationship with a teacher or other kids around them, just take them through it. Take them through it. It's like a game. So CIA, they don't need to know that CIA also stands for the American security people. Just make it some fun and see what they come up with. And once it's been inserted within them, you will suddenly see this outpouring or overflowing of ideas and schemes, because they've actually tapped into their purpose, their life purpose, their higher purpose, the reason why they've actually come here onto this planet. And for you, if any of you are feeling, I don't know why I'm here, I really have no idea, apart from being in a physical body, why I came to this life, into this lifetime. So the little CD might help you with that. Also, if you wanted to know a little bit more about your life purpose, I can do a reading for you with numerology. So we look at your date of birth and your name and see through that the reasons why you're here and how you can shift things if they're a little bit stuck. So we're going to have a back to Doreen Virtue Archangel card. So we'll see which angel wants to play with us today. I haven't chosen one yet, but I've shuffled them and I've spread them out. So I like to leave these till the last, so it's a surprise to me as well. So let's have a little look. Let's see what we got. Woohoo! Teaching and learning. Right, this is Archangel Zadkiel. Ain't he gorgeous? Look at that. So this again is Jupiter, Saggitarius energy, teaching and learning. So sometimes the things that we've learned in our lives, we can actually teach to others. It doesn't mean that you have to have a qualification or a certificate or anything like that. It's passing on information. Any of your life's experiences can be of help to other people, so long as it's not coming from a, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. It's offering some information that the other person can choose to use or not, as the case may be. And what it says here is, Archangel Zadkiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. So there we are. You may find that people start to bring you information now, which some of you might just file away for the time being, okay? And others might start to feel that solar plexus energy moving and grooving again, and start to get excited, and this something can really, really grab you. So it's spending some time researching and looking at and reading and discussing with those in the know what you can do with this, where you can take it. Another good thing about the Jupiter energy being in its own sign of Sagittarius is that it expands the mind, it expands your horizons, it allows you that time and space and energy to learn something new. So it's not just in books or on the internet or chatting with other people, but it's learning about your higher self, your destiny, your karma, what your guardian angel would like to share with you. Having a meditation practice, some sort of spiritual practice every single day, and just see what that brings you to. And I know I've said in previous videos about getting a journal and writing things down. And this is a gift to you, a gift to yourself, because you see he's got a journal in his hands. Okay, so this is not only about reading what other people have written, it's reading what you've written and how you can share with other people. Jupiter also rules publication, so publishing things. So if there's a manuscript that you've started on and put away, it's time to bring it to light. I wrote a manuscript over 20 years ago, and actually I managed to get it published on Kindle, so just recently. So never give up on anything. Some things are going to come to light again. Let them show up. If you feel that urge to do something with it, then tap into this energy, because we've had such a long period of like walking through treacle and everything seeming slow, or it hasn't arrived yet. What hasn't arrived yet? Well, I don't know, but it still hasn't arrived yet. But something is about to arrive, and it can be your, okay, they're saying it can be your future self arriving now. So with some of the ascended masters and other beings that I work with, like the Pleiadians, they tell us that they are from our future, coming back to assist us now, and they are part of our brotherhood. So they are our brothers and sisters, these beautiful beings of light, these what some might call heavenly messengers, but they are learning and growing, and as we're learning and growing. So we're all in the same boat. We're all ascending, rising, and moving our consciousness to another level. So I hope that this has been of some help to you all. I enjoy doing these readings for you. It's always enlightening for me, and I learn from every single one. So if you have any comments, I'd love to have them. If you'd like to share and like and subscribe, that would be wonderful too. Thank you very much. And if anybody would like to have a reading with me, or a drawing of your guide, your spirit guide, or one of my inspirational pieces of art, all the details are in the box below, how to get in touch with me. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I do love you all. Until the next time, bye for now.